When Emma left her office job in London, she only had one plan: not to have a plan. She had saved enough money to buy a ticket to Bali and wanted to see how far her English skills could take her in the real world. As a digital nomad, she would work online, meet new people, and learn from life instead of textbooks. Her first morning in Ubud was filled with the sound of roosters and motorbikes. At a small cafe, she met other travelers typing on laptops. "Are you a freelancer?" someone asked. "Yes, I write for international clients," she replied proudly. That simple exchange became her first lesson. English was not just a language, it was a passport. Over time, Emma noticed how different accents shaped conversations. Australians spoke fast and used slang. Americans sounded confident and expressive. Europeans had rhythm in their voices. Every chat improved her listening. She realized that learning English abroad wasn't about perfect grammar but about connection. At night, she wrote daily reflections. Her English became more emotional, less mechanical. Instead of saying, "I am happy," she wrote, "I feel like sunlight after rain." She discovered that language lives in the heart, not just in books. Emma continued her journey to Thailand, where she rented a small co-working desk overlooking the sea. Every morning, she practiced real English, ordering food, bargaining at markets, and collaborating online. She learned that confidence grows with practice, not perfection. She made mistakes often. Once, she told a shopkeeper, "I'm very hot for you," meaning to say she was feeling warm. They both laughed, and that laughter taught her more than any grammar exercise. She realized that mistakes make language human. Emma began to mentor other travelers who struggled with English. She taught them to focus on listening and body language. "Don't translate," she said. "Think in English." They practiced role plays, interviews, video calls, travel conversations. For Emma, teaching became another form of learning. She joined a writing community online. Every week, members shared stories about their digital nomad lives. They corrected each other's writing and celebrated progress. Emma's English grew more natural, filled with idioms like "go with the flow" and "hit the road." The more she used English in real life, the more confident and creative she became. By the 6th month, she was no longer studying English. She was living it. After a year on the road, Emma had worked from Bali, Thailand, Vietnam, and Portugal. She realized that being a digital nomad was not just about freedom but discipline. To succeed, she had to manage time zones, clients, and creativity all in English. Her morning calls were with a design team in Canada. Her writing clients were in Singapore. Through these experiences, she learned how English connects cultures and builds trust. Clear communication mattered more than fancy vocabulary. "Be simple, be human," she often reminded herself. Emma's English voice had changed. Not her accent, but her tone carried patience, humor, and curiosity. She no longer feared speaking. She enjoyed misunderstanding because it meant she was still learning. Eventually, she started her own blog, Nomadic English Lessons. She wrote about cultural differences, travel reflections, and emotional intelligence in communication. Her story inspired thousands of readers who wanted to improve their English through life, not just study. Looking back, Emma realized that being a digital nomad had given her more than freedom. It had given her a global soul. English became her bridge to the world, connecting ideas, friendships, and opportunities. She didn't just learn English, she lived it every single day.